Hey everybody, it is BlaiseMcBaine and Boss back for another episode of Up Your Experience podcast.
Yo,
And we have maybe better audio. I don't know anymore. I messed with
hopefully.
I messed with audio. Boss might need to turn his up slightly more if he can, but we vibing.
There we go.
um, and we're actually gonna do something a little bit different this week. We're gonna still do our all the same things we normally do, but we're gonna keep it a little bit more organized, I think. So we're gonna start off, and instead of just doing games of the week, we're gonna talk Smite first, do our salty Smite, all that fun stuff. Then we're gonna go into like Realm Royale stuff that we've been kind of following and playing, and then we're gonna talk MMOs for a bit, and then do random questions. So all the same content as normal, just a little bit more organized. Um, so I guess we need to start off with Smite, right? Yeah, maybe.
yeah, we just went.
Uh, do you got anything special you want to talk about for Smite? Because I got some good stuff this week.
Um, I had some interesting names.
You got some interesting names.
Yeah.
Nice. What you
We
got for it?
were against an Arthur named Wet Fork.
Okay.
Um, we were also against the KSI gang. There was a four stack that all just had KSI in their name.
I remember you telling me about that. I played.
That was interesting.
Me and Liani played against Sexy Sopapilla, which is a like
What a name.
Mexican dessert. So if it's sexy,
Yeah,
I mean, good for it, dude. Bet it's delicious.
true.
Uh, And oh man, dude, we have so much salty smite we can throw in this week. We'll just throw like
I
salty
know.
smite's just going to be in the games of the week. Like there's no reason to keep it separate because almost
Yeah,
every game that I played had a salty player in it. And maybe some people
really.
need to drink some water, dude. They need to get that salt out of their system.
I guess so.
Something.
I surprisingly I don't have a lot of salty smite. I had a Yamoja solo that was just horrible in
Yeah.
ranked and made me not want to play the game ever again. But other than that,
Do you have any other games you want to talk about for smite?
not really. Like I've had mediocre games. I've never really like popped off. I had this one Susano game today that I like hard fragged. I went like 16-4 or something like that.
All right, I'm going to go backwards in time because I played with you a
Okay.
couple times this week. We played today. And our first game is, I was like, boss, I'm doing it. I'm bringing back the Bakasur ADC because it was in SPL this weekend. Yo, shout out
Uh,
to Cyclone Spin for being brave
True.
enough to run Bakasura ADC.
And
And
win with it,
no,
right?
he did not win, but it looked good.
Uh,
And when I played it today, it felt as good as when I played it last time. Um, and that game was so bad. Our
I know.
Uller, we had a Uller jungle that just like rage quit.
Yeah, he was angry.
We had a really interesting mid laner, and our solo. I don't know what was going on in solo. Was that no? That was
It
yeah.
was
That
the
was the game.
Osiris.
Was that the yeah? It was. It was because the next game we played, we had the Nike that was getting mad that they were getting ran at by a Loki.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She was salty. She was like, I don't understand how he's more tanky than me and does more damage than me. I'm a warrior. He's an assassin. I'm like, maybe just don't get hit by everything. I don't know. With our second
What an
game,
idea.
I played Jing Chen support, and you played
Oh, yeah.
Camazot's jungle, and
We
we
popped
popped
off,
off.
dude.
Like
Yeah.
I think at one point we 2v4'd them, and we got three
Did
of them.
we?
Yeah, we got three of them. This Asano left.
Huge.
Like we were doing such good plays. We had a decent ADC that game. That was like she would ult off of my
Yeah,
ult,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
which was nuts. Um, I think our mid laner was okay. I don't remember who our mid laner was that game.
No, the mid laner sucked that game. I hated her.
Oh,
I
that's
I
right.
think it
It was the
was
Hera. It was the Hera that was
yeah, it
invading
was the
enemy
Hera.
speed buff and getting
The
it,
enemy
but wouldn't
speed
call
buff and
enemy
getting it,
miss.
but
Yeah, she wasn't like warding or calling enemy missing until they were
and she
like
died
in my
every
lane.
time she went to speed. She
Yeah,
died every single time she went to speed, the Susana.
she did get it. She just
Yeah, she got it.
she just she died a little.
And then we killed the Susano while he was dropping red buff, and we were like, this guy must be actually pissed. He's gotten speed stolen by a Hera 3 times, and he just died at red buff.
Yeah. Um,
Uh,
and it turns out I didn't really play a ton of Smite this week because like Monday and Tuesday, like I passed out early. I did not play any games either of those nights. On Wednesday, after I did some Back for Blood with the wifey because she wanted to like see what it was about, and solid game, really fun. If you like Left 4 Dead,
mm,
check out Back for Blood. I don't really have much to say about it currently because I haven't got to play a ton. Um, I will say that playing with bots and there's a part in like the first act you have to like it's in the beta, so like I'm not spoiling anything. You have to take
Hmm.
bombs and like attach them to the boat to like get it away from this bridge so you can get away from the ridden.
Right.
The bots will not pick up any of the bombs, so you have to run both of them and sacrifice them. So
Oh
fun
no.
times. I did end up playing. I hopped on Smite and Kenny goes, "The games have been atrocious tonight," and I was like, "Oh, so you're getting in my type of queues. You're getting in my type of games."
Hey, yeah.
Um, I joined him in Embers and Assault, and it was awful. It was absolutely awful. I think we played a Conquest too, and it was really really bad. Um, and then I joined Liani, and Kenny wanted me to run Artemis with a Frostbound and Runeforge, and then Embright requested no relics, which are some of the new things I've added to the channel for stream to make things more interesting.
Yeah.
And that game went,
That you refuse to do for me in bets.
no, okay, there's a reason for that. Anyways, I'm not getting into that right now. If it was a casual game I was casting, I would have done it. But casting like an actual like league set for somebody, I'm not gonna cast in a
Yeah,
different voice. I'm not doing it. I am gonna cast one of Bat's games though in that different voice, just because he requested it, and then I'll just send him the highlight. Um,
you're weak.
uh, you say that until he does, because he's not gonna know. Like I'm not gonna
Oh
tell
yeah,
him I'm
no.
doing it. I'm gonna like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna like do it and then send it to him afterwards. Um, I was not the reason we lost that game.
yeah.
Is that's all that matters?
Yeah.
We lost. Oh, no, we won that game because Liani carried it. That's right.
Mhm.
But I was not the reason we won, and I was not the reason we lost. Actually, like later on in the game, Runeforge was slapping.
Yeah, dude, Runeforge is such an underrated item.
It is. I think it's the most slept on item in the game,
Yeah, I can see
besides
it.
anti heal. Speaking of anti heal, I really wish I would have paid attention to that group we were going against the other night when I picked Donza into Hell, Afro, and whatever else they had, and I should have bought
Yeah.
Tainted. None of us
Hell
bought
Afro
Tainted.
Song, wasn't it?
Yeah, none of us had
Yeah.
Tainted. It was so bad. Um,
Yeah.
After that game though, Liani and I kept playing, and we ran into Gactyl, one of our old teammates, and we play with him still anyways. But he was playing set, and he was dumpstering our team. Like it was not even okay.
Gactyl is just W King at you guys.
W key is an understatement. He hit the W key and like was just dropping people. Like in mid
Oh,
lane,
so
people
he
were
was
just
W
dying.
King at Mach 10 is what
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
telling
yeah.
me.
Like he double killed at the beginning of the game, and I was like, bro, he's coming to my lane. He is gonna camp me. And like I had it warded up, ready to go. Never showed up, and I was like, oh okay.
Wait,
And
oh,
then
okay. I was gonna say, did he actually camp you?
no, he did come over and kill me on my buff at one point, and I was like, oh okay. And I was Scotty.
Yeah.
So later on in the game, he goes to Gold Fury, and I like drop my buff, and I'm like, dude, they have to be at gold. And I turn the corner, I see them on gold. I just launch Calder
Yeah.
and Sylvanas ult, and then Gactyl disappears. Like I, like apps. There was 2 seconds where he had a
Split the
choice.
atoms, dude.
Yeah, where he had a choice to beads, and it would not have even mattered because I deleted him. Um, and we actually ended up coming back and winning that game. Turns out, like late game, Scotty with the build I was running was really good. I was running the Bumbas build on her.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I was calling it before it was getting ran that it was going to get ran, and that build is sick. After that, we
Yeah.
actually got joined by Gactyl, and he was duo queuing with Billy, or his name's Dat Billy on Smite. In the Discord, he's Hamster something. I don't remember what I think it's Hamster 03 or something like that. Um, we played some more games, and we just got ran at. We got ran at by a collie that just farmed, and like we would get her low,
Yeah.
didn't matter. Like she kept getting a kill,
F.
and then it would reset to another one of us, and right as we killed her, she'd kill us and get the full reset. And I was like, oh, this is fun and interactive. And then the next game, I got to play against my favorite jungler of all time, Thanatos, um,
Ugh.
who normally I wouldn't mind, but this past week, of Thanatos Smite, I have been deleted more times than I care to admit.
The 1K damage slice
Yeah, dude.
flashback.
The one where I turn the corner and I just meet a scythe
Just
as I turn around the corner.
reduced to atoms.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I see what happened here. Um, I have went bye bye.
I see now, but I did it before I died.
Yeah, I think I turned the corner. I was like, oh, I didn't even bother to relic because it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Other than that, we had a funny game with bats when it was storming the other night. We lost that game hard, but he kept like going. He's like, dude, I have like tornado warnings. I don't know what to do. I'm like, oh, tornado boy 3.0 is Among
Tornado
Us.
Boy 3.0, dude. And then his tornado siren started going off in the middle of the game, and he's like, I'm not going into the basement. Fuck that.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta
And I'm
finish
like,
this
what is
game.
wrong with you?
He's like, I gotta finish this. Like, what do you mean, dude? Bro, just like it's a casual. It's not even ranked.
I know.
At
If
least
it
when
was
I
ranked, I'd understand.
at least when I refused to go, it was because it was ranked. Oh, dude, tornado boy hours. Um,
Uh,
I don't know. I feel like I played more Smite than that, but
yeah, so
I
do I.
I'm going back to the fact of like the matchmaking has been atrocious, and it's not just me. Like I've been reading this in multiple places, like how bad matchmaking has been the past week.
Yeah, they must have done something to. I don't
So
know.
I did some research, and
Yeah.
Smite's player base is down like 2,000 people in the past 30 days.
Really?
So I think a lot of people are we're hitting this weird spot, and it's not just because of New World. We're hitting what I like to call new game month, like new game months, where like basically October, November, December
Yeah.
are like major releases galore, and that does affect the amount of people that play Smite. Like obviously it does. I do expect the growth to come back with this week because we're getting Kleena, the new god, um, who we previously touched on a couple episodes back. Um, I didn't put this in our show notes, boss, so I apologize about this ahead of time. I do want to talk
No,
about
you're
some of
good.
the things on the patch. The Baron skin for Halloween is sick. It is so
Yeah.
good. Ares, meh. I mean, it will be good in game. Like the card art, I'm just like, cool, another serious Ares skin. Um, we're getting an Artia recolor of her like her more like Celtic skin, which I really like.
Hmm.
Um, we're getting Wise Guy Cupid, which is the referred to it as like the Brawlhalla skin.
Yeah.
Um, have you seen the Zeus skin? I haven't. I've only seen the card arts of these. The Zeus
Which
skin's
Zeus skin?
nuts. It's called Omniscient Oracle Zeus, and he has like hands holding an eyeball as his head.
Oh.
It looks creepy as heck, dude.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And the mouth is like in his chest.
Yeah.
I don't know, creepy. We're getting a Chibi as Nami, 100% support that. We're getting another Merlin
Nice.
skin that looks really good. It's like modern Merlin, like futuristic Merlin,
Yeah, yeah,
really.
yeah, I saw that.
We're also getting on release. Kleena is getting a skin, and it's a Deadly Doll skin, like the Deadly Doll is a Nami skin.
Yeah.
We're also getting a Cosmic Force Ganesha. I'm always about Ganesha skins; they turn out pretty good. Though I think he has gotten a lot of skins in the past like year and a half. And then
Yeah.
we're getting Cat Force Hercules, and then the new viewer store one I think will be good is the Kitty Karna Kumba Karna.
Yeah. That's gonna
So
be the new viewer bundle.
yeah, so that'll be good.
So that's gonna be interesting, yeah.
Now I do think the overall, I think skins have been great. Skins continue to be great. We did get Krang Jing Chin that I played today. That skin's awesome. The effects on it are great. The special emote's
Yeah.
awesome. Um, but the most thing I'm excited about for this coming up patch is the fact that we're getting the Winter Conquest map. And it's gonna have snow. It's gonna have a
Yeah.
new like stealth mechanic with lanterns that you have to auto to get them knocked down, and then it gives like a mist that you kind of can sit in. Um, and then there's some other like it's a whole visual update. It looks really pretty from the screenshots they've done, and I think it's gonna be
Hmm.
awesome because it's gonna be between the really light map that we have now and the really dark map that was like the second iteration with the vines.
Yeah.
It looks like it's gonna be a nice in between. Other than that, I'm not gonna go through all the buffs and nerfs that are happening. I would suggest that if you are a support, that you go look at support and junglers, and then people that like to buy leather cow go look at the changes. Um,
Hmm.
I do want to touch on. I think there's two changes I want to talk about, and that is Pridwin is now only scales based on protections from items. So increase shield
Yeah.
scaling from protections from 100 to 125%. Increase magical damage scaling from shield health from 50 to 75%. I think this is weird. I understand. So it is a nerf. They're nerfing it to affect tanky junglers that were buying it, but I don't think I was buying this as a jungler.
I mean, I could see people running Pridwin, especially in like with Erendite,
Yeah,
but I still don't know.
I don't know.
Because like at that point, you're definitely getting what's it called too?
You're probably getting like a Magi's
Not a med.
Spirit Robe.
I was gonna say something about CDR
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
because you're definitely getting Jotuns in that build too.
yeah. I don't know.
Because
It's
there's
just
no,
strange. It's just
yeah, like
strange.
there's barely a jungler that doesn't go Jotun's first item right now.
I don't think Pridwin's OP. So I guess that's why it feels strange.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather see like a Void Shield or Shifters or something for sure.
And then Spectral Armor is getting a huge nerf.
Yeah,
This item no longer reduces damage from magical crit attacks, which means we're going to see a lot more Oleron.
a lot more Olo and maybe some more Failnaught too, because
Yeah.
Failnaught lets
Magical crit.
yeah,
Other than that, we do see some nerfs to Raijin and Tiamat. We do see a healthy amount of fixes and buffs to Charybdis. So I think Charybdis we're actually going to start finally seeing more of. Um,
yeah, that'll be nice.
Oleron's getting buffed this patch too, and the Mulan change. That's the other one I want to talk about. They've
Hmm.
decreased the skill required to unlock her sword and spear abilities, and then
That's good.
increased the skill gain from minions from 20% to 30% toward all three abilities.
Oh my
Um,
god, they finally gave her the buffs that she needed to be decently viable. That's wild.
yeah, and I've always liked Mulan, but she is a god that if you put her behind, she never comes back.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, that's the there's like I said, there's some other changes to go look at for sure, but I just wanted to kind of like stop and talk about a few of those while we are talking about Smite.
yeah.
um Anything else you want to add to Smite, man?
Not really.
Let's talk about Realm, man.
Heck yeah.
Dude, I don't even know where to begin.
Realm's been so fun, dude.
We've been playing a lot of Realm, and then we got Bats playing Realm with us, and like yeah, there's some bots, okay, but like there's also a healthy amount of players.
Yeah.
In fact, I think if they were to decrease the lobbies to 60 instead of 100, there'd be way less bots.
Yeah, there's
Obviously.
probably gonna be like maybe 10, 15 per match,
Yeah, I mean,
honestly.
and it's been like I've been having a ton of fun playing the game. Um,
Yeah.
and it is pretty much confirmed at this point that it is in development again.
Hmm. Which is good. It's such good news because that's probably like Realm is one of the best BRs I've ever played.
I think the thing about it is it's easy to take serious. It's easy just to like play it and have fun. It's
Yeah.
also a game that it's easy to like take seriously and progress.
Uh-huh.
Um, and we had a lot of good games this week.
Oh yeah.
Like there was the one where we duo queued, and I was in between like five people, and I get the res off at the
Yeah.
forge. You're like, dude,
Oh
this isn't
my
gonna work.
god.
It worked, and we won the game.
We should not have won that.
No, we shouldn't have. And it was all people at the end.
Yeah, it
Um,
was.
there was the one where I got the minigun, and you and Bats were down, and I like 1v2'd, hit the res, and then found the last
Yeah.
person and just deleted them.
Yep.
Like, I think I threw barricade and I just aimed down the sights right at their head, and like as soon as the wind up for the chain gun like finished, it was like
It's
two
just
seconds and they were dead.
gone. Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, dude, it's just been fun. We faced that dude. That what was that mage's name? Oh, I don't remember.
I
That
have no
mage wasn't.
idea.
He was nuts. He
Oh, the one in solos?
yeah, the one in solos.
Yeah, it was like Gruber or something like that. I don't know.
That guy was nuts. I mean, he was frying.
Yeah, I mean it's just Stone Staff. Like Stone Staff is so busted.
Yeah. Um, what are some things you think you want to see with the revival, or is there anything like particular you're looking forward to or hope that gets changed?
New classes, new cosmetics for sure. They make actually really nice looking cosmetics.
Yeah,
Um, what else?
I think just
Probably
balance.
new locations would be nice.
Yeah. So I guess
Honestly,
there's some
populate the
things
map a little bit more.
we can talk. There's some things we can talk about here. If you're interested in the Realm Revival, go look at Thor on Twitch and watch his video with I think his name was Leon Lonnie the other day. He's like a EU
Yeah,
player.
Lonnie.
Um, and they did like a 2 or 3 hour breakdown of things they thought should be changed about Realm with this like relaunch or back in development. And from my
Yeah,
understanding, this is something that devs from multiple studios within inside of High Res want.
yeah,
Um, I'm not sure if this goes hand in hand with whatever's going on with Rogue Company. Rogue Company is not doing great, which is weird because like the cosmetics for the game are great. Their updates have been pretty solid. They've done like things to keep the games like relatively fun. Um, I think I think this is what it is. I think with high res games, I think I've kind of pinpointed the issue is like they start off not so great and it takes them a few years to build up. Like they're fun, but like it's an investment of time. Like if
yeah.
you look at Smite 6 years ago to Smite now is drastically better.
Oh yeah,
Um,
100%.
and I think Paladins is in a way better spot than they were even last year. I think the game's drastically better.
Yeah,
So I don't know, just an interesting thing. Like I was looking at numbers for Roko and like they weren't fantastic. Though I will give Roko this: they added Baron Samedi Saint to the game, so I did get a crossover high res skin that I wanted, which was sick. Um, but on the note of Realm, man, like I mean, like I guess we can talk about a few things. Like one of the things that they were bringing up on that stream was like a smaller map. I
yeah.
think now they talked about like going back to the OG map, and I don't know
I
about doing the OG map.
it's just like
I think
it
just
would
leave
be
the current
good.
map and just reduce it to 60 players and then reduce it, make the circles faster because the first circle doesn't spawn
Yeah,
until 4 minutes and 40 seconds into the game.
yeah.
That's a long time.
It is a long
Like
time.
if you reduce that to 2 minutes and 20 seconds, like just cut it in half, imagine how much faster that goes, dude.
It's yeah, it's a lot faster.
And they did talk about like removing duos and squads and then replacing it with trios. I do think that's a better in between. Because you want to you want to keep solos. You do.
Yeah,
Trios allows for people to queue as a trio, but also makes it where you're not a duo queuing into a squad. And it keeps if they get rid of the duo squad modes, that does keep the player base from being so split. Because that's one of the things you want to do if you're reviving this game is make it where
kind
you're
of
getting
yeah, like
it's getting full. You're getting full queues.
unify your player base. Yeah.
Yeah. Um. So I thought those were good points. They did bring the fact up of like looking at elements and
Mm-hmm.
uh possibly the removal of elements on weapons. And it made me think I miss when you could like you crafted an heirloom rifle, right? And there was a possibility that you got different elements. It's just not guaranteed frost.
Yeah.
They also mentioned like I do, and I agree with this. I think the mage needs to be reworked to use like potions to throw. I agree with that because I think it's more thematic than like the hookah healing station,
Yeah.
or like bringing the engineer back so not everybody has access to barricade.
Yeah. Or add like an alchemist or something. You
Yeah,
know.
they did bring up like a shaman idea, which I think is sick from a thematic standpoint. Like you have all the things for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then making it where like they use different totems to give their teammates different attributes on their weapons. And I think that is sick.
Yeah.
I think that makes for an interesting play dynamic.
For sure.
Um, so I don't know. Realm Revival is real. I have a feeling we're gonna see something about it at Worlds.
Probably.
If I had to guess. Any other Realm stuff you want to talk about? Was there any Realm games you want to talk about?
Not
Then,
really.
I was say I know
We
you
we
and Bats
popped
went
off
ham.
today. Yeah, we popped off today.
I know when we played the other day. What did we win? We won like 6 in a row, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, we're
It was a lot.
we're frying. We were trying to get to 30 kills. I think the highest we got was at 25 or 28.
It was 26, I
26.
think.
Yeah, we tried to get to 30. We tried real hard.
Yeah.
That game was nuts. That was the game where they had one guy that was like on top of the temple shooting down at
Yeah.
us, and then
Yeah,
they had
yeah.
the other guy that had sword up on top of a building. And like, luckily you were a mage because like
Mhm.
if none of us had soar, that situation gets really bleak.
Oh yeah. 100%.
um. All right, so let's talk MMOs, I guess, for a bit. Oh no, wait.
Sure.
I did no, I forgot something. Okay. I know I said I was going to try to keep this in order and I did forget something. I
Okay.
forgot something that needs to be talked about Smite.
Uh-huh.
On Friday night, there was a lot of storms. I fell asleep. I didn't get to cast it live, but I casted
Oh.
Leonie's team, Hyper Noobs. I casted their Vulpes set. All right, really good set. Game one, like their everybody on their team was like popping off. Their jungler like did some like crazy plays, like running around in a circle and living. Um, like literally ran around a rock by Gold Fury and got to live with like 10 health. Or there was a point where Yanis was like missing portals all day. Yanis finally hits a portal, and then as the person comes through, I've never seen this interaction. Leonie ulted, and the Nike ult knocked the person out when they came out of the portal, like knocked them back
No, no, no.
in the
It,
air.
it, it wasn't the Nike ult. It was the
Was
Nike
the
shield
okay? Either way, dude, that was
that
such a
pushed them
strange
back.
interaction. Like
Yeah.
watching it on stream. In game one, the jungler got his penta taken by the carry. Like
Yeah.
he was literally about to auto for the penta, and the carry took it. Their Robin's their carry took the penta, and then the jungler like actually rage quit, like left the Discord, like left the game, and the whole nine. Um, and then game two, Leonie ran the Alpwash solo special. But the reason we need to talk about this set is the set was fun to watch, but game two, I saw the most atrocious comp build I have ever seen across any role, especially ADC. And I'm talking about coaching comp, playing comp, casting comp, whatever. Anything related to comp and Smite. I like this is something you don't even see in like Conquest casuals. Like you might see this in like Arena or, somewhere where there's like a little bit more meminess going on.
Yeah. Siege, dude.
Yeah.
Siege.
This Chiron, who I'm not gonna name, started Destol. And he started Destol because the game before he got wrecked by Destol. I'm thoroughly convinced of this.
Yeah, no, 100% he did
He
that.
went from Destol and then he said, I'm gonna build a mace. And to me, the first mace you build on any ADC is Crusher. Because you want the attack
Um,
speed. You could justify other ones, but in the current meta, Crusher's the move.
yeah.
Especially on Chiron. Because
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, for
like
sure.
it is like your two does so much damage and it procs Crusher. Then, so after he bought Jotuns, he said, "Yo, bro, I need attack speed now." And he
Oboe.
bought he bought Oboe. And I remember like while I was casting it, I was like, "What is happening right now? Like, what am I watching?" And keep in mind, this is Masters level comp.
Mhm.
Masters,
Yeah, Masters.
okay? And you're
Apparently
like,
that doesn't mean much.
and then you're like, "Man, I wonder what he could follow this up with." Rage. Keep in
He
mind,
built crit, ladies and gentlemen.
he built crit with 0 kills. Like he thought like the rage was gonna help him
He
get
was
kills at
0
that
and
point.
6, what,
Yeah,
15 minutes in the game?
yeah, and stayed
Yeah.
there. And after rage, that he got 0 stacks on, I'm assuming he was building Wind Demon because he was at tier 2 Shuriken.
so bad.
Oh my god, dude, it was so bad.
That's so bad,
It was
dude.
so bad. And Robin, Liani's ADC, was soloing this man on cooldown, and he's
Yeah,
playing from Argentina on like 200 ping. I
yeah,
just
man was popping off.
I have no words, dude. Like so
I
freaking
yeah,
bad.
I have no idea. It's ugh.
All right. Sorry. I didn't keep things
Anyways,
as in
yeah,
order as I wanted to. That's on me. I forgot. I was like looking at my notes. I was like, oh, that's right. I casted.
yeah.
Um, and I'm going to continue to cast. I will be casting their Vulpes sets every Friday, I think, for a while.
Yeah.
And maybe do some coaching commentary on the scrims from time to time. But
I was gonna
like,
say you should just do like casting Fridays where you just like
yeah,
cast people games.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast I'll cast Liani's games, and then if there's people I know doing casuals, maybe I'll cast their games.
Dude, I'll play ranked and you can cast
Oh
those.
god, yes. Okay. I like this.
Content.
I like this idea. Ugh. Um. So the last thing I want to talk about is MMOs, more specifically New World, because that's the one I've been playing as of late. Um.
Hey,
Okay, I'm gonna
I have
hate on.
not been playing.
I know because of your computer, but you can still comment on this. You know.
Yeah,
I need to talk about New World.
here
New
we
World's leveling sucks.
go.
It is bad. Like,
The level gaps hurt a lot. Yeah.
dude, this is so bad. Like when I spend, I think I played for 3 hours the other night. And like, mind you, I wasn't like optimizing my time wisely. I was doing different things while playing, and I know this. But the fact I didn't gain a single level between like questing and doing some PvP and doing some corruptions and doing some gathering, like really frustrating. Um we did the level 35 dungeon. It was me, Bats, Gilly, Jesse, and then we had a random tank. This tank bad. Horrible. It became a meme that I was the off tank, and there was a point where like I didn't have a health bar anymore, and Jesse got the heal off, but somehow as I was dying, like I like if you go watch the clip, like I am
Yeah.
dead, and she heals me for like 1700, um, and it took us forever, dude. And we get to the boss, and we've been getting like this weird lag all night. I thought it was just me because I was having like network encoding issues on the stream.
Mm.
Um, it wasn't. Jesse lags out. She gets back in. We have to run her all the way through. I can't repair gear, and like the dungeon ends up being completely bugged. So we get no experience. We get no loot from the final boss, and we literally were on the final boss with like less than a quarter HP. So we wasted literally an hour of time.
Yeah. That's tough.
After that, we lost the tank, picked up Ross, and we went and did PvP up in the Great Cleave, which is hilariously fun because like we're all in our like 30s and 40s, and we're fighting level 60s,
Yeah.
and it was a blast. I had a great time. Um, Running rapier spear just feels good now.
It does.
And I want your take on this too, right? Like my issue right now with New World PvP, and this happened last night too, is if you tag somebody, and even it doesn't, if you tag somebody, you should get kill credit, in my opinion. If you do half of their health, you should get kill credit,
Yeah.
guaranteed. Um,
I
you don't. It's
yeah,
random.
you don't. It's dumb. So
So,
here's my thing, right? And
mhm.
this might be a hot take. The percentage of the person's HP, like how much damage you deal, gets converted into a percent, and then there's a set amount depending on how like I guess two factors into this. A, the player's level, and B, how long they've been flagged for PvP, and it's a set amount of XP, and then it gets divided among the people who did the most damage or did damage to the person.
Yeah,
So if
I
you
just
only did like 10% and the player's worth 1,000 XP, you're only gonna get 100.
that's fine. That's at least something. That doesn't make it feel like I'm
Yeah,
doing PvP for nothing. I don't care how they do it, but like I had people that I like. I had a guy last night where I did over half of his health. He was level 60. I did over half of his health as a level 36, and I got zero. I got zero weapon XP, zero XP, zero gold, no item drop.
Yeah.
Now, from my understanding, it is supposed to be that the longer the person's flagged for PvP, the more of all those things you're supposed to get.
Yeah.
But
I think it's just higher tier loot.
I think it
I
is
don't know if
too.
it's more weapon
I don't
XP.
I don't know if it's more weapon XP or more XP. I think it might. I don't know. It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, as soon as you flag for PvP, there should be a baseline XP that you're giving for weapon XP and XP. It doesn't even have to have
Yeah.
loot, but there should be a baseline just for that.
Yeah.
Like if I am damaging my armor and my weapons and have to repair, like there should be a baseline participation thing I get so I can afford to repair those.
Yeah. 100%.
Um, which is really frustrating. I enjoyed the PvP I played with them the other night. I enjoyed the PvP I did last night. It was like me and Gilly and like I think at most like five other guys, maybe six. And we were fighting a group of like 12 plus for a while, and then it ended up being like 5v10, and then it ended up being like 5v5, and we just kept wiping them. There's a clip up on Twitter right now and in the Discord of me going, if they come through this door, I'm gonna hit them with the spear. And they come through the door in the fort to the left of me, and I launch this spear and I catch the guy in the Achilles and I knock him down. And then I turn as soon as it comes
Nice.
off cooldown and I throw it over a wall into a guy that's trying to run out of a door and knock him down.
Hog, dude.
And that feels super good. Like I was like, oh my god, dude, this feels awesome. But I got zero participation for both those kills. Even though that's like
Feels
so like
bad.
even if you take away like the part I didn't do a lot of damage, but I was the reason they got CC'd and died where they did.
Yeah.
Like that should be a factor. I did almost solo a level 60 last night as a level 36. I got him under half health, and the only reason I died is because I aggroed a mob.
Hog.
So I will say that's one thing I do like about New World PvP is like it's not heavily reliant on level. It's definitely reliant on your gear more than
Yeah.
anything,
Yeah,
which
for sure.
obviously comes with being a higher level. But like you get what I mean. It's not like
Yeah.
you're so out leveled that you can't fight into somebody. Um, but this leads into New World's issues, man. It's not just this
Yeah.
participation problem. We were promised transfers. They're still not here. We were told they'll be here next week because they didn't want to interrupt weekend game time. But our server sucks. Like people don't want a PvP. It's really hard to find PvP in our server. Uh, and like yeah, I know I just got done talking about PvP, but that's two instances over. Like I stay flagged for PvP and I fight no one when I'm
Mm.
questing. I'm questing flagged for PvP for extra experience and doing PvP quests and seeing nobody. I saw one guy yesterday when I was questing. That was it.
Yeah.
Um, so we still have no transfers, which we've been guaranteed we're gonna have. Um, but the bigger issue is what's going on with wars, and I don't know if you've seen this, but the game went from being playable during wars to now it's not. Like top streamers are getting angry about how like they go to do war and the lag and player
Yeah, the lag
experiences.
in wars I've heard is horrible.
Yeah, so like the lag's bad. They're getting kicked and not being able to rejoin, um, like so on and so forth. And then you have this issue with Ice Gauntlet that you have groups spamming Ice Gauntlet, like doing certain abilities with Ice Gauntlet to lag the
Yeah.
server to DC people
Yeah.
so that they win the war. Now, I think a fix to this is like lowering the particle effects on Ice Gauntlet drastically, like during war specifically. Like
Mhm.
obviously make it where you can still see the AoE, but like lower the particle effect. Would drastically help server load. But
Oh, 100%.
this is all problems. Like, and this is one of the things I was concerned about for New World is like that's the only in-game content for New World.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. It's Outpost Rush up in the two zones in wars, and that's it. There's nothing else. If they can't
Yeah.
get this right, the game's dead. That's just my opinion. Like, if they cannot get their stuff together with this war situation, I don't see how they come back from it. And not only that, the other issue of like spam reporting certain high level people on the enemy faction to get
Mm-hmm.
them banned is another problem that exists in the game.
Yeah. That
I don't know.
like
What are your thoughts
it's
on it?
just like it. It's not even really the dev's fault. Like those last two, like people like spamming Ice Gauntlet to lag people out for war, and like the spam reporting, like that's not even the dev's fault. Cause like who would think that people would stoop so low
I would. From a
to
Guild Wars standpoint
do
of playing
that?
WVW, I had people DDoS me before.
I mean, DDoSing is a whole nother thing. Like you like no matter what game you play, if it's multiplayer, you can always expect someone to DDoS you. But like lagging people out, you just spamming abilities and spam reporting someone, like that's just shitty. Like, I'm not
Yeah,
saying DDoS isn't shitty, but like that's a well-known thing.
right. I mean, but that issue exists. Like when I played Guild Wars with my guild, there would be people that would do certain. So like there was a way that you could like macro tonics to spam a certain way, and it
Hmm.
would completely drop people's frame rates and just lag them out of the game.
That's so dumb.
Um, there was people that were able to like blank hack into wall like through walls to get into keeps and then portal their people in as a mesmer.
Yeah.
Like this all sorts of stuff, dude. Like I mean, and like all of it, like I think it's stuff that you have to expect. Now, I think the ban system, the report system, I, I don't even know how. Like it is one of those things. Like it needs to be evaluated by a person. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. It this is wild.
Yeah, I
Um,
have no idea.
the Frost Gauntlet thing. Now that's I think something the devs kind of should have expected because it's probably one of the more particle effect items in the game in the sense of like lasting a long time. Um,
Yeah.
like meteor shower, like is probably like the longest lasting fire ability from that thing.
Mm.
But like all the rest of the weapons don't really have like super flashy moves that last a long time, like in the sense of effects.
Yeah.
Like bow doesn't, rifle doesn't, hatchet doesn't. Hammer has a really cool like taunt and knockdown. But like you know what I mean? Like ice gauntlets, all of its abilities stay. So I think
Yeah.
that's part of the problem. I don't know if they're gonna have to rework Ice Gauntlet or they need to find a way that during war specifically, like it just like drops the particle effects or something.
Yeah, I really don't know.
I don't know. I think if it's a competitive game, you always have to expect there's gonna be people that want to cheat.
Yeah.
It's just the matter of like how far are they willing to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of musket, we crapped on musket doing our new world episode of that we like so we did a new world Twitch episode where we like broke down builds, and then we did a
Hmm.
new world podcast, right, episode, and we were not nice to musket. We talked about it being
No, we
bad
were
for
not.
being bad for PvE, which I will stand by. I think it is bad for PvE. It does feel good to use, and you have to level it somehow. I still don't
Hmm.
think it does not feel good for PvE. It just doesn't. But for
It does
PvP,
not.
that thing slaps. I watched like 7 people with muskets just like snipe people the other day.
Yeah,
Um,
like Musket does insane damage and it's good for open world PvP, but it's like horrible for wars, which is what we were talking about in that episode.
yeah, I just think it is nuts. Like it has so much potential in PvP, man. Like
It
open
does.
world
It's just
PvP,
like the fact that it's just like single target only has no AoE hurts it a lot.
yeah, but it is hit scan. It doesn't arch like the bow.
Hmm.
So I mean, it does have that advantage. But like, I've been doing some testing, and like bow just does a ton of damage. Like
Yep.
even as this, even what doesn't make sense to me is if I headshot someone with a bow and I headshot someone with a musket, the bow does more,
Yeah.
and that's silly to me. Just silly. Um, I don't know. Is there anything else you want to talk about New World? Like issues that you have with it? I know you haven't been playing, but I know
Um
you've been like still like seeing stuff.
the uh the trades to get to like 100, like they need to add better ways than just spam crafting like gloves or something to
Oh
get
my
to alchemy
god,
100.
yes, yes. Or
Like
like
they need to fix that system because that's such a horrible way to level.
not only that, like crafting food in potions. Oh my goodness, dude! Like potion crafting, like you make common potions for like 50 levels.
Yeah.
It's like, please just let me make something stronger.
Like food crafting isn't bad once you hit like 50-ish,
Yeah,
honestly.
I don't know.
Um
But I agree that it could definitely use some work to be able to mass salvage quicker or something like that if you're making all those.
yeah, or just like add something that's like worthwhile,
Or
to
if I'm gonna,
outfitting.
well, if I'm gonna have to make mass amount of gloves, don't make me listen to the chung 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 every
Yeah,
time
yeah,
that I
yeah,
have to
exactly.
listen to every pair of gloves. I
Also, if they could fix the crafting bug, that would be great because halfway through this like stack of 100 you make, like it says, "Oh, crafting failed," and it's like, "Oh, great.
oh I haven't had that
Now I
happen
have to
yet.
go again."
But no, I do think it just needs some work.
Oh yeah, it definitely does.
Um, it makes me wonder to some aspects that they released the game too early.
Oh,
Um,
100% Amazon like pushed
but
it way too far before the devs were ready.
but to be fair, I don't think they had a choice.
No, they didn't.
I think they had put themselves in a very precarious situation. And apparently,
Amazon just they hyped it up way too much and then gave out dates way too early.
well, to be fair, like it was in like a non-disclosed, like an NDA alpha for like years.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think there's a multitude of problems there, but I think after what happened to Crucible, they're like, we need to like recoup from where we're at. They did push
Yeah.
Lost Ark back. Lost Ark's not coming out till next year now.
Oh,
It
interesting.
it, it got pushed to March 22nd, 2022, I believe,
Huh.
or maybe it was March 29th, one of the two. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's gonna be like a closed beta in November, but they did push that back. So I don't know. I'm gonna keep monitoring New World. I'm gonna keep playing it. Like I don't dislike the game. I do think the leveling experience is really rough. Like
It is
there's a
for sure.
point that you're like the main story quest ends and it was like a level 34 quest and the next one's not until level 40.
Mhm.
So you're just stuck in like Weaver's Fin, which is a terrible zone because that's the only like 35 through 40 zone or whatever.
Yeah, the entire area is just like waterlogged. It sucks to be in.
Um, well, speaking of more MMOs, Elyon releases on the 20th, but they started their 72 hours early access today.
Mm.
It is by the people that made Terra and PUBG. Um, two very different games.
Yeah.
um, I played the open beta about, I think they did an open beta like a month and a half ago, because originally it was supposed to release like 2 days before the new New World date, but then since New World said, "Hey, we're releasing this date," Elyon was like, "No."
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's fair.
I have watched content for that game all day, and I don't know if it's going to be successful or not, but like it looks really fun and it's free to play. So if you're looking for like
Mhm.
a free to play MMO to try out, it releases on Wednesday. If you want to play it earlier, there's some packs and stuff. But I watched Dilbo play it today throughout the day, and it has really good character customization. There's like really like there's a good set of classes, but all the classes have a ton of build diversity through this like rune system. Um, and it's super fast paced. It is
Nice.
fast paced combat, open world PvP in certain zones, and then it has realm versus realm PvP. But then it also has 1v1s, 3v3s, 5v5s, 10v10s, and guild versus guild.
Nice.
Um, looks really solid. Now I've heard there might be some pay to win, and we've talked about that before. Like, what is pay to win? Um, I'm curious to follow it. I'm definitely gonna try it out. I'll report back. But I watched
Yeah.
Dilbo play today. The one thing I liked is like you can level to max level in less than a billion weeks of time like New World. Um,
Yeah.
so that's pretty cool. Definitely a game to check out and watch though. We'll have some people that are playing it because I know some people want just another MMO to play from New World that feels a little bit more like fast paced.
Mhm.
So we'll be monitoring that situation. I'm definitely curious about it. I'm curious to see how it goes. All right. Do you have anything else you want to add for games, boss?
Nope.
All right. to the random question.
Oh, here we
You're
go.
gonna hate this.
Uh-huh.
So I did not prep buffs for this. I messaged it to Kenny Alpha and I said, "What do you think?" And he said, "Oh, this is gonna be bad." So that's how I knew it was a good question. Um, so if you're to play a MMO or a game that you can pick amongst multiple races, like not just humans, but like elves,
Right.
whatever else, right? What is your preferred one to pick? Like do you
Preferred race in a
yeah,
game?
yeah. Like do you have like one that you prefer over all others?
Oh, I hate you so much. You could have prepped me. Oh, I hate everything.
Could I have? Yes.
Uh, I have no idea, dude.
None?
No, I have no idea.
You
I
can't even
haven't had time to think about this.
Okay, well I'll help you out. I'll tell you mine. All right.
Okay, alright,
So
alright.
like I refuse to play humans. I'm a human in real life. If there's a choice, I'm not playing human. I'm just not doing it.
True.
Um Now, along with that, on Guild Wars they have kind of have like some select races that are different. Like there's like a plant type of being called Sylvari, and I love Sylvari. I played those a bunch. They ended up being called like the salad people sometimes. Um, really like them. And then they had like these humanoid cats called Char that were like big cats, kind
Yeah,
of like
yeah.
almost like tigers or lions or whatever. Um, Super cool. I played those. Um, in Crowfall, like I really liked Elkin. I thought Elkin were sick. In
Yeah,
general, like
yeah, they were.
if I can pick something that's more animalistic, I do. If I can't pick something that's animalistic, like an ESO, I played a Khajiit most of the time. Named Captain Commander Meow. Don't judge me. Um, I like usually result to like some form of elf.
Yeah.
Usually. So like when I play like Oblivion, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be like a dark elf or whatever. Um, I don't want to mess with any of those high elves or anything like that. But yeah, I think that's I'm usually looking for something that's just not human. Like I'm just like, what is something I can pick that I'm interested in? Like sometimes I pick classes based off of like I had a class I had like 13 characters in Guild Wars. I had a couple of Sura because they're the smallest characters in the game, and that makes it harder for people to follow in PvP. Like that's strictly the reason I picked
Tactical
them.
advantage.
Yeah, 100%. Like Dilbo was talking about today, he picked the race he picked in Elyon because they're the smallest race and they're harder. They're the hardest ones to track in PvP.
Yeah.
So that's usually mine. Like I'm usually looking at like either like some form of animal or then I result to elves. Like it's usually that it's nothing. It's one of
Yeah.
those two. It depends on the game if I'll pick like a small like the smallest character or not.
That's
In
true. That's
in
fair.
general, like for Guild Wars, I only did it for tactical advantages. Sometimes I wasn't a huge fan of the Sura, or like on Final Fantasy, I I was like, nah, I'm a cat girl.
Of course.
Yeah, dude, meow.
Uh,
So I don't know if that helped,
I
but I don't know.
it got some ideas going, but it made me just realize how much I like really just go with whatever I'm feeling in the moment. I don't really have like a preferred race, like, oh, okay, I'm going to this game knowing that I'm gonna pick this. Or
Yeah, I
I
mean,
just kind of be like, oh, hey, this race looks cool in this game. I'm gonna pick it, and then I
it
go with that.
to me it also comes down to are the races locked to classes? Because in some games they are.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like that's how WoW is, right? Like or
yeah.
that's
It
even how
is.
Crowfall is. Like it's you're locked to a
Mhm.
class. Um yeah, I feel that. I think it really just depends on the different MMO. I just know like I'm usually looking at animalistic features and then elves. Like that's generally my thing. Like even in
Yeah.
WildStar, like I played like their version of a cat, like the cat people in that game.
Mhm.
And then like they had like some type of rock person and my name was Ron Roxon or something like that. And I just picked stuff that wasn't human.
You should have just named yourself Dwayne.
Yeah, That would work too. All right. I don't think I have anything else, man. I think that's all I got for the week.
Yeah, that's all I got too, honestly.
All right. Well, let's get on out of here. We'll see you all
Yeah.
next time. Bye.
Peace.